Okay, so we're gonna play some more of this deck. I played some more of it off stream, and I was liking it. We're playing this between rounds on Friday. This deck was, I think, performing a lot better than I expected it to. Our record wasn't crazy or anything, but like it was kind of like between rounds weirdness. One card I really did not like was Profane Tutor. It just felt like when I wasn't impacting the board on turn two, uh, it felt very very punishing in this metagame. And I also felt like Flashback was overperforming, and I feel like I just wanted to play more flashbacks, and there were like a lot of matchups where just going like Thoughtseize turn one, flashback Thoughtseize, or push turn one, flashback push was like really nice. So you like slow the game down a lot, so you can slowly take over. I guess if you're not familiar with the deck, the idea if you cast Molten-Core Maestro into Dark Petition, you win the game. You win the game by making millions of mana and going Professor Onyx or Cut Ribbons in combination with Past in Flames, letting you replay all your petitions and triggering this over and over again. Molten-Core Maestro is not like it's not the most embarrassing card to play. It's not good, but it's a 2 mana 2/2 with Menace that gets bigger when you cast every single card in your deck with like two exceptions. It gets bigger every turn, and like that by itself, like we have won plenty of games so far just making like this an 8/8 and attacking. And then Dark Petition is also not super duper embarrassing to play in a Cabal Coffers deck. It just you have like a lot of utility of finding like a Go Blank or a Withering Curse or a Graveyard Trespasser or a Damnation or Professor Onyx, or we've even had some like natural like Dark Petition for Past in Flames and just like play Thoughtseize Fatal Push and stuff, which is pretty cool. And like so like neither of these cards are like how you would build this in a normal Coffers deck, but the fact that they are not embarrassing to play by themselves, like they can just be spells in your curve, and then they win the game together, I think has been pretty cool. I've liked it. Um, um, I ended up going up to the fourth Urborg after cutting the Profane Tutor. I went down to only two swamps. You can afford to be pretty light on fetchables because of the Urborgs, just letting you keep your fetch lands in play. Um, I decided also to explore a transformative sideboard. I do think that against like Boros, Prowess, Jeskai Blink, maybe not Jeskai Blink. I'm a little undecided there. I think you do kind of want to cut the Maestros, and then you want to leave it in against like Affinity and Tron and Titan and other combo decks, other linear decks. And it's also kind of better game one. And so the idea is like you have some flexibility between your Duresses and your Graveyard Trespassers and your Professor Onyx exactly how you transform, but you can leave a lot of you can cut a lot of the combo and then bring in like just kind of more resilient cards here too, which is I think pretty fun. Okay, definitely stepping this off. We have Deceiver, Exarch, Splinter Twin. They play a tap breeding pool, so it could be Living In, could be Neoform, it could be Simic Ritual, could be Infect. And I guess it's always take Neoform here. Definitely not feeling great that they have Shoal. So if they do find their Rider quickly, then they're going to be able to almost definitely find Consign plus Pact. Do you think Blue Emeritus could be a reason to shift your Gora's Blink deck into a Persist deck? It could be. I mean, I've been playing like a Demir Persist deck sometimes. I think it's pretty solid. But I've not even really been playing Archon in that build. Just like Persist Emeritus and Quantum Riddler. That way, like you can cast all of your cards. I think that deck's okay. So thankfully they have not found their guy yet. Maybe it's better to play the Revelation here, but I kind of like playing the Maestro so that I just have outs to draw an Urborg and win. What would you think about here? Hooting Mandrills? I don't think. Is there any card you would even think about here? But they keep a card on top. It must be Hooting Mandrills, right? No, sorry, it wouldn't be Mandrills because they already have some respect. I don't know. Maybe it's Planar Genesis. I think it's very difficult to like tank on anything there. Let's see if we can find Thoughtseize. Although maybe I would just want. I might take a land over Thoughtseize if given the option. Yeah, I think I just kind of have to take the Thoughtseize and be in a spot where any land wins the game. Yeah, even Raucous Theater. Veil of Summer? I guess I don't know. Main deck, they don't play that many, right? Or do they main deck 4 Veils? I don't think it's 4. It looks like it is Planar Genesis. They also have Endurance here. I will take the Summoner's Pact and make them find both pieces. I also have Revolt for Fatal Push. Spike, of all the decks you've streamed over the years, do you have a top 3 favorites? I don't love being an on-demand YouTube short, unfortunately. Just not very good at it. I'll tell you my number one. My number one favorite deck of all time, I think, still is the Gifts Ungiven Uro Field of the Dead deck. That deck was and you could like Mystic Sanctuary, Time Warp, or you could Mystic Sanctuary, the Return All Lands to play a card. That deck was the casting Gifts Ungiven was like the most fun I've ever had in that deck. Like you had to work so hard and you had to think so much to just be like a little bit worse than the regular Uro piles. Was about where I landed on how good that deck was. They do main deck 4 Veils. Okay, I thought it was less, but could have been a good reason to grab the Urborg. So hopefully they're doing some thinking here. It's a little scary. Did they really just find both pieces? How does Cosmic Rebirth plus Moso plus Ranger Captain sound? I don't know. People love these unearth effects. But like how are you getting this stuff in your graveyard in your Abzan deck? I guess getting lucky on your Rumble Overlord Mills. It does sound cool. All right, they play a Rider, they pitch an Atraxa, and they pitch a Disciple of Freylis. And then they main phase Endurance. So let's just go ahead and grow my guy. Yeah, I'll just make this a 7/7 2-turn clock. It's a weird matchup. You got to make a weird play sometimes. Do you have VODs in the gift deck? It would have been like 7 years ago, but yeah, probably not. Probably that was if it was on YouTube, it was before I had my editor, so it would have been just like a video that like I recorded and made, which I did used to do. So they're saying that they're going to shoal, I guess. Let's see if we find exactly Urborg off the cling. I mean, just making this bigger is better, as they say. They did pitch a shoal to the Rider. Okay, so they shoal pitch Disciple of Freylis. They have just to consign. I'm going to attack them for 9. And I'm feeling just fine. All right. They concede. You're going to give 2. I bring in the Dresses. I'll bring in the Ashiok. This is what you can Dark Petition for to lock them out, which is also why I cut the Vexing Bauble, because you can just Dark Petition for Ashiok. Cut the Withering Curse, cut the Damnation, cut the Trespasser. Although Damnation's maybe okay against some of their Oculus draws if they're in on that. I think I'm okay if they're in on that. Okay, although I guess the pushes are coming out, so I guess the Damnation comes in. Trinisphere, I guess, stays it or comes in. And I guess second Prof over Cut Ribbons, although I have to bring something else in. Could play 1 push in case they're on Oculus. Maybe I do want Cut Ribbons. It was weirdly good that game. I think we'll be okay. Basically cannot. Well, we do have a Sheoldred's Edict, which can be really good against them, but it's kind of high variance, and I just don't really think I can keep a hand that doesn't have a discard spell on the draw. I'm gonna keep this. I guess I'm gonna put back the coffers. Okay, they lead on a Surveil. They put a Consigned to Memory in their graveyard. Let's lead on a Duress. Oops, all Neoforms. They play the Delta. You have a YouTube video of 2021 YouTube Goros gifts. No, this would have been like 2018 probably. Maybe 2019. So they do keep a card on top. So their hand is Evolution, Freylease, Mystery card. That Mystery card does need to be a green card here. Or a Neoform, I guess. Wait, the Neoform is a green card. They pitch Evolution and Generosant, so it was a green card. Well, we do have the Sheoldred's Edict. They have a Gristlebrand. They did Summoner's Pact. I guess I don't know why I am looking, but it's kind of interesting here that if they draw 14 and they don't find a shoal, they just die. It's interesting they didn't draw more. Like, they have to have a consign. And if they like consign and they don't combo off again, which maybe they can do, they're just gonna die to this. They can find Pact plus consign. Yeah. I mean, they have to find consign, period. And so, but if they find Pact plus consign, they keep the Gristlebrand. Then they play Genesis. Very weird. Do you think Izzet Wizards will ever be good? I mean, Izzet Wizards is currently like good, but it's not like how you want to build it. It's like the Metalcraft Quarry Steel Cutter deck. It's the Arayo deck. Like that is it's a Flame of Anor deck, and it's pretty good. And like the reason one of the reasons you have to build the deck that way is because Urza Saga for Lantern gives you reasonable plan against Flage, and the big problem with Izzet Wizards is you do not have a reasonable plan for Flage. We are on the draw. New matchup. I usually just main deck Soulguide Lantern. Yeah, I mean, like, you have to, but like, it's not a good plan. Like, it's like main decking Soulguide Lantern is not a good plan, and it's, you know, it's just tough. Fate Seal Magic, thanks for the raid. Isn't Subtlety an okay answer? It's maybe okay, but it's not like a long-term plan for it. Like you still just get totally hosed. It's better than nothing. Yeah, I think splashing black for Cling is like your best plan for Wizards. And we have done that, and it's been like okay. Have I tried any Flow Seed decks? Probably good in that Sapphire Medallion deck. I mean, it probably would be, although I don't think I'd play the Sapphire Medallion. We have played Flow State in some builds. I have liked Flow State. I was actually thinking this morning I want to play more Flow State, and I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to do that yet, but it is on my to-do list. Well, they Thoughtseize my Thoughtseize. Do I find a removal spell? Not here. I guess we're just going to Revelation. I suppose I'm taking another one. The Cut Ribbon's not very good against Psychic Frog. They discard a copy of Pest Control, hit me with Frog down to 15. My friend's places a wizard and splash white for Wrath. I mean, at that point, if you're playing double white, I don't know. I mean, you're just playing Jeskai Wizards, which is a thing. And like at that point, if you're playing a double white spell in Wrath, you should play some Flages, which you can do. I mean, it's fine. Turtle Lordy with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Not the easiest hand to look at on either side of the table here. Is there ever a universe where Thoracle is playable? Yeah, I mean, you play Thassa's Oracle with like Primal Prayers sometimes. It's definitely a card you play. I mean, I'm gonna play Revelation and push. I wonder maybe if they would ever force some negation this Revelation. They probably wouldn't. Cling is a fun one. I think I'm just gonna pick up the land though. And we should upkeep push, I think, to play around Ephemerate. The whole Prince Suppressor Cauldron Frog idea would play Thoracle. Yes. Which is on my to-do list. Hopefully you can get to it tomorrow. I think it was pretty exciting. If you missed it, if you cauldron a Psychic Frog onto Pensive Professor, you get to draw your entire deck. So they take my Go Blank. A wise play. This gives them info on what I drew, but let's just hold up the Cling here. Just tune in what deck is this. So this is like a Coffers control deck that's playing Molten-Core Maestro and Dark Petition. If you cast a Dark Petition with Molten-Core Maestro and play, you win the game. And what's been kind of fun is like neither card is super duper embarrassing to play individually. So like you sacrifice some card quality for 2-card combo, which is always kind of fun. I actually don't have another untapped fetchable. I do have more tapped fetchables. So let's take Gristlebrand. Just kidding. Yeah, I guess I surveil. And we're kind of, so we have 2 more surveil lands. We're kind of low on fetchables because in this deck you play 4 Urborg, and usually you get an Urborg out. Oh wait, where's my 3rd surveil land? 1, 2. I guess it's gone. All right, so keep that in mind. Not like we have more fetches in hand as is. Coffers is a good draw. Cast our Professor Onyx. A reasonable modern card. Weirdly, I think this card is pretty solid in various coffer shells. Yeah, I'll take a flashback. Do I want to hold up flashback for Cling? My opponent's hand is not all that good. They even if I go flashback Thoughtseize, I guess they can't cast the March. If the mystery card is like another Solitude, I guess they could evoke Solitude and force me to Thoughtseize their Gristlebrand. They play an island. Opponent not drawing as well as Argora's opponent from the last game. And there's the Urborg. I guess we'll take another copy of Cabal Coffers. And we will just flashback Revelation. Or maybe... Was this lethal? I don't know. I don't want to take the Maestro. We know our opponent has removal in their hand. Guess we'll take the instant speed removal. And we'll just win with cut ribbons next turn, I assume. We can even go flashback Thoughtseize first to play around interaction. Although I could combo. Let's not just do the loop for no reason and show our opponent the loop. All right, I'll take Gristlebrand. All right, on the draw. Game 3, or sorry, game 2. Duress. Yeah, in Professor Onyx, you basically always bring in the second professor when you cut the cut ribbons, and you want to cut it. You want to cut the cut when the cut is bad. Cut the cut when the cut is bad. And then I guess it's, do I want to play 1 Damnation or the 4th Molten-Core Maestro? I think I played the first Damnation. I think I played the first Damnation last time. I think I'm going to play the 4th Molten-Core Maestro this time. And only play 1 Graveyard Trespasser. Oh, I trimmed a Trespasser on accident. I do want to keep 1. I think it's like a solid Dark Petition tutor target and like fine to draw the first copy. Okay, on the draw. It is really important to have a Fatal Push for Frog, and I don't like to mulligan in this matchup, but I will mulligan this hand. Second Urborg and the Past in Flames is too bad. Opponent is in the tank on their 7-card hand. Yeah, no reason to put a ribbon on it, cut the cut. Okay, they mulligan to 6. Let's join them. Put back second Dark Petition. My opponent's on a Multi 5. They play a Flooded Strand. We draw a Thoughtseize, which we definitely need to play turn 1 to play around Frog. And they've got 2 frogs in their Multi 5. I think I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Sorry about that. Staying very hydrated. Okay, so they have Frog, Mending, Mystery card. We draw. Second Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Maestro this turn. Maybe that's wrong. You know what? I think it's wrong. I think I want to try to surveil this turn. Maybe find a removal spell. Maybe find an Urborg. Graveyard this. I do still have one more of those in the deck. Blackout, the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Spike, what are your rules for Flashback? When to consider it adding to a deck? Flashback is kind of just good. In this deck, it's nice for some of your combo loops, but it's not necessary. Like, we don't need to play Flashback in this deck for the combos. But I would say that we are playing Flashback here because it is good in our deck. And that might sound kind of obvious, but it really is just like Flashback is a good card. It has some cool loops to Dark Petition, but maybe if your deck is like 30 instants and sorceries and you have a lot of mana, consider Flashback. I don't know. Warning about in a fair deck like Shadow. I wouldn't play it in Shadow. You can play it in Shadow if you're playing Corey Steelcutter and you somehow also have a lot of cheap instants and sorceries and lots of cheap instants and sorceries and Corey Steelcutter. Spike mentioned a loop. Okay, they discard Gristlebrand, but I can exile that with the Dreams of Steel and Oil. They have an Ashiok, which I can attack. Spike mentioned a loop. Looking deck, I don't see it. Is it just Maestro Petition for insane amount of mana? What's the kill? You get Past in Flames, and then you can cast Cut on your own Maestro, then cast Ribbons, or when you cast Past in Flames, you can use your first Dark Petition to get Professor Onyx, and then you can cast like 30 spells after that. Was the Anthropod deck good? We didn't have a good result with it, unfortunately. I think the Arthropod was good, and but I think the deck we warped around it in a way that the deck didn't seem to be very good. Maybe, so it's possible we could pull back on some of the X spells. I was thinking about maybe playing a Teamer version. Maybe play. So they play the Ashiok, which is a little bit interesting. Now they have to fly the Frog. I feel like attacking first may have just been better, especially because the Frog can't block. They do not snipe my other Onyx. Now, notably, Ashiok does stop my Dark Petition. They do fly the Frog. So I can't cast the Dark Petition in this turn anyways. Fatal Push would be so good. You just kill the Frog and kill the Ashiok here. Duress at least lets me kill Ashiok. They discard Thoughtseize to the Frog. So Ashiok down. If we draw any land in our deck, we win the game next turn, assuming they don't find a disruptive piece. What do you think of Spell Pierce of Rebuke in the Uriah Shell? I did end up cutting oh no, in the Uriah Shell. We had a build that I didn't like Rebuke in, but I liked it more with the cutters. You can play it. I think it's. I understand why you want it. Okay, and they did draw a disruptive piece on the top. Oh, I didn't have a Spell Mastery because of the Ashiok. Never mind. Okay. Well, I guess let's find Edict. I guess Edict is maybe better than Push. Because we can, Flashback Edict is better than Flashback Push. Yeah, another Coffers would have done it there. We would have. Oh, okay, it didn't because we didn't have Spell Mastery, but if we had Spell Mastery. We could also maybe grab Professor. How do you feel about oh no, are we dead? Yeah, we're dead if we grab Professor Onyx. So let's not do that. Let's just grab Edict. And say, you sack a non-token creature of your choice. And then they're going to have 2 cards in their hand and a Faithful Mending to my no cards in hand, but a bunch of mana. Oh, that's true. Edict does play around Ephemerate. Mm-hmm. And they have a Quantum Riddler. Now they've got 3 cards in their hand. Do they have an Ephemerate? They have a Flooded Strand. So maybe just hardcast Quantum Riddler next turn. Good follow-up for them. I don't think I'd like an Inquisition very much. What about a Tron version with K Command and Condescend? A Tron version of what? Of the Geomancer deck? Because I don't know how you possibly are casting Geomancer in a Tron deck. All right, well, big draw step for me. Have a lot of good draws and some bad ones for sure. So let's put this on the good draw pile. Maybe Anthropod and Bluetron, Splash and Green. It just seems like the mana is like so impossible. And I don't want to put Arthropod in a deck that is playing 12 colorless lands. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like, what are we doing here? Okay, interesting card to see here. They have a Mending in the Yard, 3 other cards in their hand. They warp a Riddler. They could discard a card now to draw an extra one. They discard a Thoughtseize. They draw 2. They drew Land Purge. Land Purge is sickening here. I think I'm supposed to target a Mending here, since they can exile whatever a creature I target with the frog. Land Purge is brutal there. Did you build any X-Crab decks that look with a big shoal? I dream of digging 30 with Flourishing in play, then shoal, green pitch for 15 drop. I didn't, I guess, no. I think that there could be something there. Dead on board to the Riddler. Yeah, I guess so. All right, game 3. Land Purge, dude. Okay, on the play for game 3. Let's go. Art to Dead the Riddler. I mean, was I dead to Riddler anyways? Okay, on the play. Keeping the 7. Pretty good 7. So I have to take the Purge. So the Gorios. I have to take the Gorios. And I did take the Gorios. Let's cast the Revelation. We find another Maestro or a land. I think I'll just take another land since we also milled Past in Flames. I'm definitely kind of mana hungry here. I'm also I think okay, even though maybe it's kind of bad I milled one of these. I'm kind of okay just playing one of these and like making them purge this turn instead of getting to cast the Mending, which slows them down, which builds me time to develop my coffers. If that makes sense. Maybe you could make an argument for like setting up the Flashback Past in Flames and get the Duress, but I think I'm just okay to make them purge this turn. And maybe they don't purge this turn. Maybe they still cast the Mending. Like they do have a Trax in their hand. So they discard an Undercity Sewers and they discard a copy of Atraxa. They still have Solitude, Purge, and 1 Strand. They play up Marsh Flats. We did Duress the Gorios earlier. My opponent just passes back. So we have 5 mana next turn. No thanks. What's with this draw step pause? Where did this come from? Okay, well, I'm going to go cast Dark Petition. Purge. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why they draw stepped it. And I'm going to grab Go Blank, and then this exiles their Atraxa and the Mending and makes them discard 2 cards. They decide if they want to purge now assumption again. So they should have main phased it if they were going to do it now. But like, why would you? Why you would upkeep instead of draw step? It's never draw step. It's always upkeep there, right? I was gonna keep this up probably. Good go blank. They discarded a breeding pool and a solitude, so their hand is Strand mystery card. One of the mystery cards is Delta. Other card mystery card Quantum Riddler, best possible. All right, let me flashback Revelation here. So they may just cast Quantum Riddler next turn. I thought they had one more fetch land. Maybe they still do, but they did not hardcast a Riddler this turn. So they must have just drawn this, or I would think they would have just drawn this so they could draw the extra card. Let's lead on Thoughtseize here. I cast a Dark Petition. I think I'm getting Coffers. Cast another Dark Petition. Grabbing a Professor Onyx. Minusing the Onyx, and then if they top deck a Gorios, they didn't discard Atraxa? Alright, good news. So they do have two Quantum Riddlers in the escape zone, but I've got a Pass in Flames with a stocked graveyard here. I love like the Coffers like value Pass in Flames. I don't know why I think it's so cool. No, you top decked Ashiok. Come on, dude. All day with this. If I can't search my deck with Dark Petition with this. I think I'm just gonna play my second Professor Onyx. All right. Why is the opponent not targeting themselves with Ashiok? I mean, I don't have that many cards left in my deck. They could snipe some really good stuff. I think it was fine. It's got to be Flashback. Just an extra trigger, basically. So let's go Flashback on Dark Petition. I think I'm going to be grabbing a... well... I was thinking another Coffers. Yeah, I think so. I think this is lethal. Just we can push twice and flashback something. Hobbling across the finish line. A Solitude Riddler. Okay, we're 2-0. Pretty borderline hand. I think this is a triple surveil keep, especially because the Urborg lets you sandbag fetches. Possibly this is a mulligan. I think it's okay. Pretty borderline. They were last seen 9 days ago on Grixis Reanimator. A lot of Reanimator lately. I think one pretty underrated dynamic of Reanimator is one of the few grindy decks that's good against like Boros and Prowess. Like I think most of the variants are pretty good against them. Maybe people are finally picking up on that. I guess typically I like to put this up if my opponent takes this long to think about their mulligans. Opponent did keep 7. As Maestro started doing anything broken in standard. There is a combo with it. Okay, now my opponent is thinking on their first turn. They go Looted Delta. There's a combo with it. But yeah, apparently he did bad in the P team. Alright, I take the Sheoldred's Edict. Let's see what we can surveil into. I'm going to keep this since they took the Edict. They do play like, Frog. They're a Frog, Oculus stack. I guess they play Spell Pierce sometimes. If this is the Grixis deck, which it probably is. Got him. I was like, I think I might take the Spell Pierce anyways. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 more Maestros in the deck. That if I draw one of those before I can get the push out, maybe I'll regret this. But I'm a freaking Dark Petition deck. How do Dallas fans get along with Spurs fans? Rivalry hated, don't care. I really like the Spurs a lot. The Spurs are kind of like the only other team in the league where I know almost every player. I really like Castle. I really like Vassell. I really like Fox. I really like Champagny. Obviously, Wimby is super cool too. Me and us are even. We went to the Spurs Stadium for a game this year. I don't know about your average Dallas fan. I love San Antonio as a city. San Antonio is an awesome city. I love going there when I get to go there. I like it a lot. I don't like Houston very much. So, I don't know. I have some good friends who live there too. So I have some family in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. So I'm definitely like they're who I'm rooting for in the playoffs. Go Blank, I need you. Am I texting my birth? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I'll keep the Thoughtseize. It's kind of awkward against the looting in the yard. Oh, they scour me. Oh, they scour me in the middle of Revelation. If I find a Coffers, I could flash it back. That worked out weirdly, really good. Also, your most recent Basilisk was human-based. Have explored Frog, Daredevil shenanigans recently. I mean, I feel like we've explored them to freaking death. You know what I mean? Like, there's not like there's so little room in that shell. You know, you have to play like interaction in those spots. Discard a Thundering Falls and a Fatal Push. They don't play a land. Okay, so now we can kill an Oculus if they hardcast 1 next turn. Very weird game. I think I'm killing this so that I can flashback my Revelation. Although now let's just flashback our push. All right, so they got 4 cards in their hand. I think 3 of them are spells unless they're holding lands for like looting. They scour themselves. They mill a Steam Vents and a Mire. Then they play a Mire. They probably have a not keeping swamp in case they do another discard spell. No, I want to be able to draw coffers and have more mana when I flashback Revelation. Oh no, they found Emperor. Oh no, they persist Emperor. I guess that's the same thing, huh? And then they have another frog. Boo. Okay. Big draw step for us, I guess. Okay, I was thinking about Dark Petitioning for this, but casting it will work too. So I've lost my Revelation easy come, easy go, I guess, because they scoured me since I surveilled something to the top for that. Another one. Maybe just hit me with the frog. Not going to do a lot else with it this game, probably. Then they unearth another frog. Pretty good draws for our opponent. Then we cut the Emperor, so a top deck Coffers wins. I think it wins. Got 4 of those in the deck. We have 7 mana in play, so Coffers is going to be tapping for 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so it will deal 11 damage. Although we do get got by Spell Pierce. We can also flashback Revelation next turn, maybe set up to find Coffers the turn after. My opponent discards a Archon of Cruelty, then they flashback Persist. So now maybe I'm hoping to draw my own copy of Flashback or Dark Petition for Flashback to Flashback Damnation. Don't we want to kill Frog? I think it's better to kill the Emperor and leave ribbons in the yard when I want to, because then the Emperor exiles it, but going to game 2. Down a game against the Grixis Reanimator deck. I do think more so than against Gorios. I think I just want to cut the combo. I think the Trespassers are actually like really dang good against them. Or like at least close to really good. The Dreams exile stuff from the yard. I want to cut the Withering Curse, I guess. Yeah, let's do this. I want to end the tank on their sideboarding. How's Withering Curse been so far? I feel like I've seen you cut it a bunch. It hasn't been that good. I think it makes sense to main deck with the Dark Petitions. It hasn't been very easy to set up Cling to Dust plus it. But I think it's important to play. Like we haven't played against Boros at all, and just being able to Dark Petition for it. I think I want it. Although maybe it's not that good against them. It's not that good against a Flown Guide of Souls. I do think this card could be pretty interesting in some of the Sorin builds. It could be pretty interesting in some of the Sorin builds where you like flip Sorin main phase 2 and then you Withering Curse and you've gained life. Haven't quite done that. Maybe you could play it in like one of the Ketramos Sorin decks. And this also doesn't kill your Ketramoses. Was Path to Peril consideration? Yeah, I thought a little bit about it. That's what Wobbly, the other like the Coffers gamer who we got the idea from, Walry was doing, but like this is a new card, so that was kind of an easy tiebreaker for me. Just play the new card. Let's keep this. Not Bantus, of course not Bantus. What the fuck? This has never happened to me. That I keep 3 discard spells, my opponent keeps 7 lands. What can you do? I don't want that. I don't want that. I guess I would have cast this Thoughtseize. I would love if they just drew the 8th land. Okay, take the Spell Pierce. What? They graveyarded Archon of Cruelty, and before turn 2 persist Archon after they keep a 0 spell hand. Yeah, no way, dude! Opponent keeps 0 spell hand. There is an Archon of Cruelty in play on turn 2 after I cast 2 copies of Thoughtseize. Let's see if we find Edict. Oh my gosh. That was the stupidest game of Magic I have played in my entire career. That was, of all the games I've ever played, that was the dumbest. All right, I'm gonna go raid someone, go eat some lunch. Fun stream today. I'm gonna work on the Cauldron Psychic Frog on the blue O2 whenever a counter gets put on it, draw a card. I'm gonna work on that tonight. I have like 3 or 4 other decks that like we also haven't gotten to get to. I'm gonna try to get to one of them tomorrow. I don't know which one, but there's just like so freaking much to do. Who to raid? Let's raid. I guess let's raid Doomwig today. All right, fun end. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Nassif and Mingu for the raids. Go follow Mingu. Go follow Nassif.